Welcome to the podcast From Now to Next, a stepping stone. I'm your host, Erica Rooney, wife, mom of two, chief people officer, entrepreneur, and fitness fanatic. In these mini episodes, I'll take a deep dive into exploring the sticky floors that prevent ambitious, growth-oriented, and successful women from breaking through glass ceilings. We'll cover topics that are particularly impactful to women, such as imposter syndrome, perfectionism, working like you don't have kids and parenting like you don't have a job, systemic issues such as racism, sexism, and ageism, toxic behaviors, high-functioning anxiety, and more. I'll explore why these things affect women and provide you with practical, proven, and purposeful steps to clean up that sticky floor and take you from your now to your next.
Hey, y'all. Thank you for tuning into another Stepping Stone podcast. Recently, I have been putting a lot of thought into my daily habits. Which ones are good ones? Which ones are bad ones? What's adding to my life? What is sucking the life out of me? And I wanted to share a little bit about habits with you. So what is a habit? According to the dictionary, it is a routine or practice performed regularly, an automatic response to a specific situation. So basically, it's the tiny things that we do day in, day out that make a huge difference over time. Now, as someone who was once a fitness and wellness professional, I have talked and taught a lot about habits. And now as a chief people officer and an executive coach, I'm able to observe how the small daily actions either lead to massive positive changes over time, or I observe that amazingly intelligent person remains stuck in their own sticky floor until they get a hold of these small daily actions. Over time, I personally have developed a few key tricks that have helped me create positive change and help me eliminate the habits that no longer serve me, all of which are leading to those positive outcomes. And I want to share them with you so that you can test them out and hopefully make them stick. So the first step in creating a positive habit is starting small. For example, if you're looking to save more money, don't start by throwing half your paycheck away into savings each month. It's just not attainable. It's not realistic. You're going to cave after one or two pay cycles. Now, that lofty goal of massive savings is just too much to handle at once. The same thing goes if you're trying to lose weight or make a change to your fitness lifestyle. You don't set your alarm clock to this ungodly hour and tell yourself, I'm going to do an hour of cardio, 30 minutes of strength, followed by 15 minutes of everyday stretching. Again, chances are you're going to make it through one day, super motivated, but by day 2 or 3, when you aren't seeing like a massive change, you're going to say, F this, I'm done, right? But when you start small, for example, you tell yourself you're going to save more money by not going to Starbucks on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You're going to save it for a Friday enjoyment treat. You'll have saved $20 that week. And that, of course, adds up to $80 a month and almost $1,000 a year. When it comes to fitness, instead of setting this huge monumental goal, tell yourself that you're going to get in just 10 minutes of movement in the morning and then slowly add on as you go from there. Now, why start small? And that's because with each action that we take, our brains are looking for a reward, right? So like we are biologically set to look for a reward, to find the easiest way to do something. And when it comes to things like saving money and fitness, those rewards are not instantaneous, obviously. You're not going to be a millionaire overnight. You're not going to lose 50 pounds overnight. Okay? It's impossible. But as human beings, we really struggle with the patience required without seeing that reward. But small is attainable. And it's much easier to say, like, I'll skip this coffee I have to put away all my extra money, to like, I can walk for 10 minutes rather than I have to devote my entire morning to a workout. Then you start to see the positive change. You learn you have more time in the mornings when you brew your coffee at home, right? You get those extra 10 minutes to relax instead of rushing out the door. You feel the energy shift after your walk. Those are all small rewards. Okay. Lean into those positive feelings and outcomes. When you lean into those, you start to crave more. Now, when it becomes time to get rid of those pesky little bad habits that are ingrained in our brains, that's going to be challenging in a different way. So, our brains actually have learned that a certain behavior sparks a certain reward, right? Like scrolling through social media, it entertains us, or drinking a glass of wine, it numbs it out, right? Numbs out the stressors. Our brains are constantly looking for those rewards. And newsflash, once a habit is learned, the brain always remembers it, right? So you've got to be really careful that once those quote unquote bad habits, like constantly scrolling through social media and drinking wine every day after work, don't become a big problem because your brain remembers it. Okay. I personally am a big fan of the mindset of replacing a habit, not ridding yourself of a habit. And it's all mental. So let me explain. When you feel the urge to grab your phone or scroll through Instagram, whether you're trying to beat out boredom, distract yourself, say to yourself, instead of immediately reaching for that phone, I am going to, and then insert a different behavior there, right? Before I go to my phone for Instagram. So, for example, before I grab my phone, I'm going to make sure that fold all my laundry and unload the dishwasher. Okay. Or read 5 pages of a book, whatever it is you want to do. Then you're free to scroll through the gram. Or instead of saying like, I'm not going to drink any wine, say, I'm going to make myself a fancy sparkling water and I'm going to drink that first before I break open the bottle. So why? How does this help? So over time, your brain actually starts to learn the new pathways that you are putting into place without the feeling of deprivation. You aren't restricting yourself. You're not saying, I can't have this wine. I can't scroll through Instagram. You are slowly changing the pathways of the brain to not start that immediate scroll through social media and not having this immediate pour of wine after a stressful day. And instead, you're reaching for something new. Now, over time, this does work. But the last piece of the habit puzzle, and it is the largest piece of the habit puzzle, it is all about the becoming. This is where the work begins. You need to look past any goal that you have set for yourself, such as losing 100 pounds, right? And you need to decide, who do I want to be? Do I want to be someone who struggles to get around, who is restricted by my weight? Or do I want to be a healthy person that can get up and down from the floor without any help? The person who can chase after my kids without losing my breath? Do I want to be someone who lives paycheck to paycheck? Or do I want to be someone who has a safety net of savings to where I could walk away from a toxic job without something else lined up if I wanted to? To be that type of person, you must become that person. Now, there's an audio clip of Michelle Obama, and she says, you want to be an honest person? Be an honest person, right? It is that simple. You want to be a fit person? You got to start doing fit things. What do I mean by that? Park your car at the opposite end of the parking lot to get in a few extra steps. Take the stairs instead of taking the elevator. You want to be a financially responsible person? Be a financially responsible person. Wait to buy that outfit until it goes on sale, right? If something's over $100, you're going to wait 24 hours before you make a decision to purchase it. Why? Because your habits are who you are. They are your identity. You need to know who you want to be. You need to know who you want to represent. And on a deeper level, you need to know what your core values are, which is going to drive your actions, which drive your habits, which dictate the type of person you are. It is as simple and as hard as this. Do you want to be a saver? Be a saver. You want to be a runner? Go for a run. You want to be a reader? Read. The most effective way to establish good habits and to change the bad ones is to focus on the becoming. You have to ask yourself, is this who I want to be? Is this what I want to represent? And then do the work. Start small. focus on the replacement of the habit, not the ridding of the habit, and reinforce the becoming. Read 10 pages every day, you're a reader. If you're like me, host a podcast every week, you're a podcaster. Do something physical every day, you are a health-minded individual. Your habits are ultimately who you become. When you know who you want to become, you can change your habits. Your identity is not stuck in stone. You do have the power to make the change. You have the ownership to be the change. So if you're not happy and you want to make some changes, I implore you to get out there and do it, right? These habits that you make every day, and then the bad habits that you break every day, those are the habits that take you from where you are now to where you want to go next. So I want to challenge you to think about what is one of the habits that you either want to add to your routine every day, or what is something that you need to try to replace. Shoot me a DM, shoot me a message. I want to know. I want to hear from you. I will be your cheerleader in the corner rooting you on, but we can all do it. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Thank you for listening to the podcast From Now to Next. You can follow me for more content on Instagram at from_now_to_next, Facebook, and my name there is just From Now to Next, LinkedIn under Erica Rooney, or my website at www.fromnowtonext.org. Make sure to snap a screenshot of this podcast and tag me on Instagram. And as always, rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, as it truly helps the message reach other women who might need the inspiration to get up and out of their sticky floor today.